Dodgers pitching is ridiculous.
So we are back. Segment 3 is a Freestyle Friday. It is the redoubtable and highly questionable one, the Law Dog with us in spirit. The tiny the doorway has gone in for the evening. It's still raining out there, but it is the witching hour, so it's segment 3 on the freestyle.
That's right.
Training camps start officially tomorrow. The veterans came back today.
Rookies came back Thursday.
They came back Thursday.
I thought for some teams it's not till next Tuesday. Everybody, right?
Stephen A. Smith, I want to talk to you about this because I don't know where this is coming from. But Stephen A. Smith was talking about how the New York Giants are on the verge of becoming the laughing stock of this league. I don't understand
Why he said that.
why or what. I had the thing right here. I want to pull it up and play it for you. Hold on a second. This was, I mean,
That's interesting.
it's very interesting. It's like, I don't know where he got that from, but what? Stephen A. Smith, it's in here somewhere because I saw it earlier. Is that it? No. It's the whole, no, not there.
Dude, Carson Bench had 2 outfield assists tonight.
Did he?
He's one of our rookies on the Mets.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Is that it? No, where is it? He basically was, is that it? No, that's that. Look at every other clip that he did. Oh, there's the one with, what's his nuts for not telling the truth. Here it is. Hold on a second. I want you to hear this. I hate, you know what I hate? You can't skip the, hold on. What the hell is that? I hate these stupid ads. It's only 3 seconds. Hold on, America. Here it is.
John Harbaugh voted out of Baltimore a 5-year, $100 million deal, making him one of the highest paid coaches in the National Football League at $20 million per year. Only giving him that contract, but bypassing the traditional obligation of a coach having to answer to the GM, Joe Shine, because he gets to answer directly to ownership and bypass the GM. That comes with his new contract with the New York Giants. He does not answer to the GM. He answers to ownership only.
Did you know that?
The only reason this happened because
it was the most talked about thing that happened.
Of a once proud New York Giants franchise that has become a laughing stock of the National Football League. They are an absolute joke. And that is why John Harbaugh looks silly this morning, caught on camera, trying to motivate these players talking about the New York Giants.
Oh,
Now,
that's
you would not get such a thing from. CC just alluded to it, 46 blown fourth quarter leads since 2008, second most in the league. By the way, the previous 7 or 8 years you had Lamar Jackson as your quarterback. That would be number 1. From a generic or a macro perspective, rather, let's go a little bit more home, where you take into account the New York Giants and what they have done since winning the Super Bowl in 2011. Let's break it down, CC. 0 division titles.
2 playoff appearances.
1 double-digit win, which was in 2016. 1 double-digit win in 14 years. 11 losing seasons in the last 14 years. A winning percentage of 36.5, which is the 4th worst in the NFL. Only the Jets, the Jaguars, and the Cleveland Browns have been worse. Only 2 playoff appearances since 2011. Only 1 playoff win since 2011. 25 teams. 25 teams have more postseason wins during that period. Okay? And by the way, Harbaugh, their new coach, is their 8th coach since 2011. 2 interims. New head coach. 3rd general manager. You can't make this up.
Well,
damn, he went after them hard.
Holy shit. Now, I didn't. What? You probably knew most of this.
Why did he say he was embarrassed? What happened?
Because of that speech.
Oh, because of
the speech that you just played.
But I think that's who he is, right?
I don't know. I never seen him speak before, so I didn't know that. When I saw that speech,
I think he's like he's kind of like, I guess he's high energy, little bit goofy.
I figured he was high energy. His brother's that way. The speech we both agree was corny. Yeah. It wasn't going to motivate anybody.
I don't think he was trying to motivate them through that. I think he was legitimately standing up there and just kind of being like the goofy guy that he is. And he was excited about practice.
Well, he was definitely goofy. I'll give him that.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that's how they take it.
But he had a decade and a half of sustained success in Baltimore, and we think he can't coach now.
46 blown leads is a large number.
That is bad.
That's a lot.
I'd like to know, like, how many?
I didn't think it was that.
How many other coaches who have coached for as long as him have a number like that? That's what I'd like to know.
What I would say is this. Okay. Since Tom Coughlin, he's got the best resume of any coach they've had since Tom Coughlin.
Without a doubt.
That's what I would say. He's won a Super Bowl. None of the other guys have. You want to sit there and I criticized him for this, about Lamar Jackson never really getting any better. He's kind of been the same player for 6-7 years.
And that's not even what I hear people criticizing about.
No. I'm just saying that my criticism of him
that one makes sense.
Was that Lamar never really I don't know
even
if
though
Lamar,
he did win 2 MVPs.
He did, but they never went anywhere in the playoffs. Like you know this. A QB, Eli Manning is in the Hall of Fame because of what he did in his 2 playoff runs. Right. Lamar, you can do whatever you want. Peyton Manning got knocked for this forever until he finally won a playoffs. Until Peyton was terrible the first 7 years of his career in the playoffs. So I mean, I don't, the New York Giants to me are not an embarrassment. Have they underachieved? I would say that. But I can point around this league at half a dozen teams that I would come to that conclusion before I'd get to them. Maybe more than that. So the Dallas Cowboys are one of them. They're a fucking embarrassment.
But my thing is, like,
every year.
I understand if you want to tell me that the Giants have been misrun for a long time, but to, like, just crush John Harbaugh like that seems
he hasn't had a chance to. You can't look. You want to talk about what happened in Baltimore? You can't judge him yet on 1 3-minute speech.
But talking about Baltimore as if it was this absolute failure.
It was an underachieved. They underachieved.
Did they? He won a Super Bowl.
He had Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson for 4 years. They got the 1 AFC title game.
So you think that's just straight up?
I think they flat out underachieved. Yeah. They should have won at least 1 Super Bowl with that, too. They had a good defense. They had weapons around him. He didn't always have the best passing game, but he had the worst. I mean, he had a year where he threw for 4,000 yards and 40 touchdowns in that span. So he won 2 league MVPs in that span. So it wasn't like they didn't have any talent. And this was my knock on him. I think he's better than anybody they've had since Coughlin, but I've got my reservations about
It's just like, for the past 15 years, what we've been dealing with on the Giants, I would sign up for what happened in Baltimore.
They were in the playoffs most of the time.
Almost always.
Yeah, so I get if you're where they were, and Stephen A. Smith alluded to it, they had 1 double-digit win season in the last 14. They've only been to 2 playoffs and won 1 playoff game. This is where Stephen A. Smith kind of goes off the rails. This guy, compared to that, he's fucking Eric Parsegian at Notre Dame. He's Bill Parcells. Compared to that. Because he has at least got them in the dance. Now, they haven't done anything when they got there since they won that 1 Super Bowl, but he had Lamar Jackson for his life. He never got to a Super Bowl with Lamar Jackson. Yeah. He had Derrick Henry for the past 4 years, who I think most people would agree was the best running back in football. He had 2,000-yard season. I mean, Derrick Henry is one of the most feared things in this league coming at you. He's the offensive version of Aaron Donald, as far as I'm concerned. Derrick Henry coming at you with full head of steam is a scary, scary, scary thought. Okay? So he had that, and I don't know how they didn't get to a Super Bowl myself. I'm still trying to figure that out. So as in that regard, I think he underachieved. Now, does that mean he's going to do that in New York? No. They're a different team. They have different dynamics. We don't know yet what Jackson Dart is going to be, but he's multi-talented. He has a ton of potential.
Dude, and I think if a lot of that sentiment is being judged on what you saw on camera, like, real coaching is not what you see on camera.
No.
It's what happens when there's no camera.
Yeah.
And the type of relationship that is built, between the people on the team. So He looked corny, but I think he's always come across as kind of like a corny kind of guy. He's shown that he can lead people. Yeah, he probably should have gotten further or could have gotten further with the rosters he had, but it seems like he knew what he was doing in Baltimore, and it feels like we haven't had someone that fully knows what they're doing in a long time.
I think he's better than any coach they've had since Coughlin, at least on paper. Now, what that's going to translate to, I don't know.
Yeah,
I do know this, that they've got enough there to win now. They've got
win is in like wild card spot.
They can get in the playoffs and they can win a game. I believe they can. Now, and again, when I say everything needs to go right, when I say everything, I really mean one thing. They got to stay reasonably healthy. They're going to, injuries are inevitable in the NFL. Every team gets banged up. It's a question of who and when.
Yeah.
Because they've been sabotaged the last couple of years by injuries. So at some point, it's got to, I said water season. At some point, it's going to even out. They got to have a healthy season. Why not now? Okay.
You always see those ebbs and flows. It's kind of like.
Did you hear about Malik Neighbors? He's going to be ready to go.
Yeah.
So that's an encouragement.
I said he was the linchpin.
He's going to be ready to go. Looks like for week 1. That's huge for them. So
I just hope he's able to practice leading up.
I think he is. By all accounts, there's nothing really holding him back. He's not going to have really any restrictions. This is about ramping him up for week 1, so I think he will be practicing. But it's huge news because you put him with Lively. No one's talking about this tight end. I mean, this is the tight end, the big Lively, likely the tight end. This dude is a beast. He's a fucking
dude. And then they drafted Malachi Fields, who's like 6'4", big receiver.
Yep. I like that.
I hope they can protect Jackson.
I'm saying they have
protect Jackson Dart
on paper, and again, this is on paper. They have the talent to compete and win in that division, and at least get a wild card spot. Philly is going to take a step back. Washington has no defense. Dallas has no defense. I would argue the Giants may have the best defense in the division, at least on paper.
If it plays.
If it plays. But I'm saying the pieces are there. This isn't about they have enough to win now.
Yeah. They've got enough. We might not be very deep.
No, but you haven't been held. You've been bit. They've been bit as bad as anybody by the injury bug the last couple of years. So at some point, they've got to stay reasonably healthy.
What kind of bite do you think the injury bug gives?
I know that depending on who it is and how long that player is out, it can totally derail a season for us.
No, but when you think about the injury bug, what type of bug is it? What does the injury bug look like?
You mean if it were a bug?
Right, if it were a bug. An insect, the injury bug.
A wasp.
Meaning
that's not
something meaner.
Wasp are pretty good.
I know, but
Hornet.
Maybe.
Hornets are mean.
Yeah, they're real mean.
It's mean. It can derail a season, depending on who it is and when it happens.
So the injury bug dressed up as a hornet comes in and just.
I'm just saying that if it stands to reason that at some point these guys are going to be reasonably healthy. And if that happens, and I'm banking on it finally happening this year, because it hasn't happened in 2 or 3 years, that this team is going to compete for a playoff spot. And I think they're going to get it. Because when I look at what's around them...
You better not be giving me false hope.
Not false hope. Look at what's around them.
Sometimes you look at my team with rose-colored glasses.
No, I do not. I said last year if they had stayed healthy, they could have been... They just weren't healthy.
Yeah.
They showed signs. They blew a fucking lead in Denver. Just give me a fucking break. They blew a ton of lead. I mean, give me a fucking break.
They've been blowing leads for years.
They've almost in Celtic-like fashion, dare I say.
Yeah, but they've never been as good as the Celtics.
No, they never had the talent of the Celtics. But the thing is, like, they have, again, on paper, they have a front line defensively that can line up with anybody. They have a second-year quarterback who's immensely talented. They've got a very good running back. They've got a they got a legit number 1 receiver. They got a legit tight end now. This kid's legit. And they've got a coach that has had, compared to what they've seen, monstrous success. Okay? So there's no reason to think, given what their competition is in that division,
that they can't.
He could be the best coach in the division for all we know.
Well, unless you listen to Stephen A. Smith.
I'm not listening to Stephen A. Smith.
At that point, he's the worst.
The only thing Stephen A. Smith has ever been right on consistently is the Dallas Cowboys. But that's like everybody's right on them that knows what a bunch of frauds they are. Because until Jerry Jones dies, Cowboys ain't winning nothing. Everybody knows that. So, I mean, because he's all about his ego and about putting athletes in the seats. He's not into winning, or he would never let Micah Parsons walk out the door. If this man wanted to win. That's ridiculous. So don't give me this crap about him and his winning, because that guy would have never left. So the point is that they, on paper, have a good enough coach, they have a good enough quarterback, a good enough running back, a legit number one receiver, a top 10 defense potentially. There's no reason the Giants can't win 10 games if they stay reasonably healthy. Now, on the flip side of reasonably healthy is the absolute and total, and I heard this all day long today, it's driving me crazy. The undisrespect for the New England Patriots today is not quite as bad as the Knicks, because the Knicks are a champion and the Pets didn't win the championship. But it's damn close. Because you've got idiots.
Thank you for saying
You've got idiots on this network, and this is the same network that has the Knicks fourth right now. So you shouldn't be surprised at this. But the thing is, they're saying that, well, I look at the signing of A.J. Brown, but that doesn't really move the needle. What are you talking about? How can you say that a 28-year-old A.J. Brown, who by every account is a top 5 receiver in this league, okay, doesn't move the needle on a guy who finished second in the league in MVP voting? Someone explain the logic behind that.
What are we talking about?
This is the Patriots' disrespect, because people don't have them. Never forget not going back to the Super Bowl. They're wondering if they're going to make it to the playoffs. I'm like, this schedule, they're talking like they're playing the 07 Patriots, the 85 Bears, the 89 49ers, the 2000 Rams, the 99 Rams. This is the 202 Tampa Bay Bucks. Like, what the fuck are you looking at? This daunting schedule.
The 2006, 2007 Giants.
It's fucking ridiculous. Not them. Those frauds.
The 2011 Giants.
Injuries. Part of the game, but still. Injuries to key people. Brady and Gronk aren't what I would call, what would you call them, supporting cast? Yeah. They're 2 Hall of Famers.
Yeah.
They're arguably, we know in Brady's case.
I Googled how many fourth quarter blown leads that Mike Tomlin had.
Yeah.
It's a lot less.
Some of this. I'm just saying.
It said in 10 plus points, it's like he lost 2 out of 80.
Yeah, he doesn't blow leads when he gets it. John Harbaugh's famous.
Hey, Johnny boy, I hope you're willing to change, baby.
This
is willing to adjust.
This is what I said when they got him. I'm like, my question is how, because I thought he underachieved in Baltimore, and that speaks to it.
But see, here's the thing. I do believe that coaches can develop and grow too.
Bill Belichick was better in New England than he was in Cleveland.
Exactly.
Mike Shanahan
he wasn't in Cleveland as long as
he was there 5 years though, and they made one play. No, he was there longer.
18?
Yes, whatever it was, a long time. But the thing is, Mike Shanahan stunk in his first spot. Then he won 2 Super Bowls in Denver. Yeah. I mean, there's a track record of this when the guy gets a second shot,
and he's already got a ring.
He's got a ring, so it's in there. It's there. I mean, so I'm not saying, like I said, it all depends. Does he develop this kid? Because I don't think he developed Lamar Jackson. I look at Lamar Jackson as the same guy I saw 5 years ago. It's the same fucking player. Okay? Basically, he's the same fucking player. Can he take Jackson Dart's game to the next level? It's not a question of talent. That kid's got all the tools. He can make every throw. He's incredibly mobile. He's tough as nails. He's everything you want in a quarterback other than his political affiliation.
He had some great games against some good defenses last year.
He is a difference maker.
Yeah.
Okay? He can win you games. The quarterback, if you're going to win a Super Bowl, you have to have a guy at that spot that can win you games. He has that gene.
I really wish he wasn't MAGA.
Yeah, that's the only thing that's wrong with this kid. And it pisses me off because I pushed him on him.
Oh, man.
And now I'm like,
we all get to have our opinions.
I mean, look, the only I can say is he's young and dumb, and hopefully he grows up and figures out that, no, that's not the guy. No.
How can you be a part of a world that has so much diversity in it?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you've been playing college football before the NFL. It was the SEC.
We talk about this all the time, how people vote against their own interests.
I mean,
and it makes no sense. But then again, they're not informed, they're not educated, and it's one of 2 things: they either don't know or they don't want to know.
Yeah.
And I don't know what category he falls into. I hope it's the stupid I don't know part, not the I don't want to know part. Because that means he could find the truth if he really wanted to, and he doesn't want to. That's a far different problem.
Yeah.
Okay? So that aside, though, from a football perspective, he doesn't lack anything. There's nothing about him that he can't do as a quarterback. So does John? This is where John.
Well, the only question he has is, can he play with poison under control? Because the only thing that seems to really be able to derail him is when he fucking tries to do too much and gets hurt.
Well, this is where John Harbaugh, this is the impact he can have. He's got to convince this kid it's okay to throw the ball out of bounds and punt. It's okay to slide. It's okay to run out of bounds.
It's okay to take a sack.
Yeah, it's okay to do these things. Now, if Jackson Dart does these things this year, then you know Harbaugh's doing his job. That's going to be the key.
What is the chance that Harbaugh has hired somebody to do that job?
Hopefully he has.
Or do you feel like it has to be Harbaugh?
Either it's him or he finds the QB coach.
Doesn't matter.
As long as either he does it or he finds the guy that does it. Either way, it falls on him. Yeah. There's two ways he can do it. Either he does it directly or he has a guy that can be a QB whisperer that can get him to do it. Either way, he's either got to hire him or he's got to do it himself. But if it doesn't happen, it's going to fall on him. It's going to fall on him.
Yeah.
And it should. That's his job.
The truth is, it's a group effort.
Of course it is.
And Jackson Dart also has to step up and realize, 5 yards for, sitting out for 3 weeks is not worth it.
It's not worth it. And I understand he was a rookie, and rookies do things like this. He's not the first. He won't be the last.
Dude, he's just playing. He's trying to play hard. He's
trying to do is earn the respect of those guys in the locker room, and I get that.
As a fan, there's part of it that I love it.
No, but he's tough and he's fearless, and you want that in your quarterback. Yeah. I mean, the guy in Tampa's like this. Mm-hmm. He's tough and he's fearless, and we love him for it. He'll play hurt. Mm-hmm. Okay, fucking Drake May is like this. Okay, all these great quarterbacks they have that in them. But again, my father, I know you can be tough. Can you be smart? Because you got to know when to be tough and you got to know when to be smart. Patrick Mahomes has lasted until he got hurt last year. He, year by year, was running less and less and less because he realized that if he wanted to last in this league, he couldn't keep doing that. Yeah. And he just gradually backed away from it. And that's why he's coming off an injury. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, Mahomes he's smart.
He's been smart about it. And that's why he's got a chance of playing another decade. Yeah. Because he hasn't been dumb. Can this kid be smart? That is where this is Harbaugh's biggest task is coach. Because if you got no quarterback, you got no chance.
It's hard to be smart when you're young.
Of course it is.
I was so dumb. Sometimes I'm still dumb.
We're all dumb. We all do stupid things. I'm going to do something stupid when I walk in the house tonight. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. At 22, I could see it being difficult, but you're right. It's all about getting through the person to make them realize, hey, this is the opportunity you have.
Yeah. I mean, he's coached. Now
being coachable is such a big.
Harbaugh can say to him because he coached Lamar Jackson.
True.
He can use this and go, look, Lamar has lost games because he didn't slide when he should have. And he can go to tape and show him that Lamar didn't always do the smart thing when he told him to. Yeah. And so he's got a frame of reference to use to show Jackson Darts. And if I were Harbaugh, he'd probably...
I feel like Lamar doesn't do that as much anymore, though. He's grown in that area, right? He's not taking unnecessary hits.
He still runs too much. He doesn't run as often. He's not like Mahomes. He still runs more than he should.
He definitely runs more than Mahomes.
Yeah, he still does. And he shouldn't be. He's 30 years old now. He shouldn't be doing it. Josh Allen has got the same problem. And whoever this new guy is up there better be telling him the same thing that Harbaugh better be telling Jackson Dart. Because honestly, Josh Allen, again, Cam Newton is the perfect example of this. He was an MVP at 28. He was done at 31. Because he wouldn't stop taking hits. He wouldn't slide. He wouldn't run out of bounds. He wouldn't throw the ball away. And it cost him probably 7 years off his career, at least 7. When he came to New England, he was done.
Oh, yeah.
He had no arm left. He couldn't. His shoulder would never recover.
As much as he would just lower the shoulder and fucking go at people.
1 Super Bowl appearance, 1 MVP, and done.
And a national championship.
And that was 10 years prior.
I know.
But again, you can only do that for so long.
Yeah.
And Patrick Mahomes figured this out. Tom Brady knew it from the jump because he wasn't a runner anyway. But I mean, and the guys that last in this league are the ones that don't run until they have no choice. And when I mean they have no choice, I mean they can't just throw the ball away. It's 3rd and 7, and they've got to go get it. Maybe it's the Super Bowl, or maybe it's the drive that ends your season in the second round of the playoffs if you don't go get it. That's the one you have to go and get. That's the one you have to take a hit. That's when you do it. There are scenarios where you have to do it.
Or it's to get a game.
Or to win a game, yes.
So to get a game, you get the game.
I'm saying, but those are very few and far between moments. Most of the time, you can throw it away. Most of the time, you can slide. Most of the time, you can run out of bounds. Most of the time, you can take a sack. Just don't make the big turnover. Right. Don't take the big hit. This is the thing. And this is what Harbaugh has to do.
Kill.
And he's got weapons now. Neighbors is a top 10 receiving talent in this league when healthy. The tight end is top 10
Do you remember Neighbors' rookie year?
Yes.
He had 107 catches.
He is a top 10 receiver in this league right now when he is healthy. Okay? The tight end is a top 10 tight when he is healthy.
Is that likely? You think so?
Talent-wise? Absolutely. Absolutely, he is talented. He might be the most talented.
I like their other tight end.
He's good too. I'm saying they don't lack. This team does not lack talent anymore. It is no longer a question of actual talent. It's can Harbaugh get this kid to play smart, and that's what he's going to be judged on. That's what he should be judged on because that's where he failed in Baltimore.
Are we talking about Johnny Bags?
Talking about Johnny Bags.
You know, Johnny Harbaugh.
Johnny Harbaugh is going to be judged on Jackson Dart's performance. Now, this is the same kid we saw last year. He's going to get blamed for it, and he should.
I think he's also going to get judged on just the overall culture of the team. Because if the defense is soft and Abdul Carter is non-existent, he'll get blamed for that too.
Abdul Carter has a lot to answer as a football player. I love what he did when he responded to Dart's garbage. He on the field,
he killed that.
This kid has a lot to answer for. He needs a bounce back year like you read about. There is no way a top 5 pick with that kid's talent should have had the loafy he had. Mm-hmm. How many sacks did he have?
I don't know.
Did he have any?
I think he did. I think he had a couple. But
he needs to be. He
was like 10. One of the highest win percentages on pressure.
That kid needs 10 plus sacks this year.
I know.
He's got the talent.
But the weird thing is, he came into camp and they showed pictures of him, and he looked small. And I was like, are people just fucking with the picture, or is that his size?
He wasn't. Well, how big is it?
Well,
he's not small. Edge rushers are generally not small. There's like one guy, Doomerville. There was one guy that was like an under, but he was so fast you couldn't catch him, and he was strong as an ox, Doomerville. But he was probably the only undersized edge rusher I've seen in a long time. Like that was good. Most of them are between 6'2" and 6'5", and they're freaks. They're athletic freaks.
Abdul Kader.
Yeah, what is he? Give me the dimensions.
I found a picture where he looked like small, and people were like, yo, what the fuck is going on? In these pictures, it does not look small.
What's his height and weight?
Abdul Kader's size.
Yeah, what's his size?
He's like 6'8", 280.
No.
Just kidding. 6'3", 250.
That's the prototypical defensive edge. 6'3", 250. Edge, that's an edge rusher. So he's the prototype. So he needs a 10 plus sack year. And with the front 4 around him, there's no reason why he can't.
His arm length? Ewan. Bird. Korean, 33 inches.
Yeah.
It's his arm length.
I'm telling you that this is...
So you think any talk of him being too small is absolutely ridiculous?
He's not too small. He's prototypical.
Okay.
He's a prototypical 6'3" edge rusher. That's exactly what they are. They're anywhere between 6'2" and 6'5". They're in that range. If you're there, that's where you are. And that's what you need to be. He's fast enough. He's strong enough. He's got enough talent around him where he can go one-on-one and win the one-on-one matchup. There's no rereason. Look.
So at 250, you can move like a 330 guy? Or you go around?
You can do both.
Through technique?
You can out-technique him and you can outrun him.
Mm-hmm. Can you bull rush a guy like that, though?
Yes, you can.
A guy that's like 60, 70 pounds heavier than you?
Yeah, because they're backpedaling.
So you use technique, get them off balance. Then
you got to get them to commit either to inside or outside leverage. And then once they do that with their footwork, that's when you've got to make your move. So he's quick enough to do that. He can either, whether he's in the 2 point stance or he puts his hand in the dirt, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Now, what I would do, and I don't know how often they did this last year with him, but we call it the elephant position. The Patriots did it with Willie McGinnis all the time, where they move him up and down the lines and you can't get a read on him. He's the type of player the Giants can do that with. He is an elephant position type player where you can literally, he can start on one side and end up on the other and right. That's what they got to do with him.
Is he absolutely only pass rush, or could you put him in like a?
He can go in. He can cover a running back out of the backfield. He's fast enough.
I don't know that they did that with him last year.
I wouldn't. I want him to rush the passer. That's what you got him to do. You didn't get him to cover running backs out of the backfield.
But I'm saying, like, what if he rushed the passer from the linebacker spot instead of the edge? Would that be any different? Or
the elephant position, it allows you to do that. You can either rush for that.
You're talking about tackle though, not linebacker, right?
No, Willie McGinnis was technically a linebacker, but he was an edge rusher.
They would put him behind the line, and
they'd put him behind a tackle. They'd move him over a nose tackle. They'd move him over a defensive end. The elephant position, they would move him up and down the line. So the quarterback was trying to call coverage, and the line's trying to adjust the protection, and they're adjusting it based on the elephant. Where is he? And if the guy keeps moving around, you can't account for him. And if I'm the Giants, that's what I would do with him, because that's where he can be a game record. He can be a game record.
We have Arvell Reese that they said
that kid's a fool.
That's how they're gonna use him.
If you
He's gonna be there a lot.
If you have two guys that can do this, which I believe they do it. It only makes you tougher to game plan.
I feel like Abdul's gonna be on the edge.
You can still move him from right to left.
I know.
You can still
I just don't know that we'll see him at the backer spot. Like, I could see him moving into tackle, even though, I don't know, a 250 moving a tackle.
The Patriots used to take Willie McGinnis and Roosevelt Colvin, and they'd line them both up over the center.
How big is Willie McGinnis, though?
6'5", but Colvin was 6'2". Rosie Colvin was a beast. They would put them both over the center on either shoulder, and then one would rush and one would drop back into coverage or loop around and come off the edge. And you couldn't figure out where the guy was coming from. And the second the QB, he couldn't move up in the pocket because the guy was coming from the middle. So the second he rolled to one side, here came the guy off the edge and boom. They can do that with both of these guys. And it would be wise to do it. Especially with the quarterbacks that you're talking about. You're talking about three guys that are very mobile, from Hurts to Prescott to is it Watson? No, what's the guy in DC? What's his name? He was rookie of the year, and they took him to the NFC title game from LSU. What's his name? Daniels, Jaden Daniels.
Oh, Jaden, yeah.
These are three mobile quarterbacks, and that's why you draft linebackers like this, because they can run down these guys. And you've got two of them.
Damn, I didn't realize how big Justin Tuck was.
Yeah, he's big.
Justin Tuck is 6'5", 265.
Willie McGinnis. That was Willie McGinnis.
Because he was the guy that I would see. They would put him on the edge, but he could also rush against tackles. They would move him in, and he could really rush guys and go around them.
Willie, the 2004 Patriots are
Willie was big as shit, right?
Same size as him. The 2004 Patriots remain the best team I've seen in this century. They were 14-2. The two games they lost, Corey Dillon and Deion Branch did not play. In the playoffs, they held Peyton Manning to 3 points. That offense was number one in the league. Then they went to Pittsburgh. They were 15-1. They dropped 41 on the Steelers. And then they beat the Eagles with Terrell Owens in the Super Bowl and Donovan McNabb. That 04 Patriots.
Terrell Owens was unbroken.
And he had 100 yards receiving.
That's crazy.
And they still lost.
He was a beast.
Because that team had Ty Law and Richard Seymour and Rodney and Tom Brady. Tom Brady could have won MVP. They could have leading touchdown passes. Actually, he was second leading touchdown pass that year. So that 04 Patriots team remains the standard because on both sides of the ball, and they could play any kind of style. Corey Dillon ran for 1,600 yards there. No one talks about it. And he averaged 5 yards a carry. They were ridiculous, that team. But their defense had this kind of versatility that the Giants at least have. Now, they don't have a cornerback like Ty Law and have a safety like Rodney Harrison. They don't got that. But the front four, the front seven, yes. They're comparable. At least on paper they are. How they use these guys, that's the question. So
watching the video of Ant and LeBron, Ant's pushing him.
Yeah, not busting this crap. Get out of here, old man.
Apparently they were just showing this quote from It said LeBron to Ant-Man during free agency. What would happen if I chose another team, like besides Minnesota? And Ant says, and I don't know, this is via The Athletic. Ant says, that would be okay because that just means I could tear your head off in the court when our two teams meet.
That's an Ant response. Whether or not he could do it, that's all another story. He does. He hasn't succeeded yet, but he's not the one to lack talking or confidence.
Well, he doesn't run from competition.
No, he doesn't. He just doesn't have enough help. And I don't know.
It was weird when he checked out of that game. Like,
I don't know if LaMelo Ball is going to be.
That'll be interesting. Again, Julius Randle got pushed to the side.
Of course not.
Dude, the Nets actually have some pieces right now.
Wizards have some pieces right now.
Dude, the East is going to be different this year.
It's loaded.
As bad as everybody said it was last year.
It was never bad. This is the two of the last three champs have come out of the East. The Celtics and the Knicks.
I understand, but as soon as the Knicks won, you went to trashing the East. The most pathetic Eastern Conference you've ever seen in your entire life.
They were stupid. No, it wasn't about talent. They're stupid. Talent and stupid are different things. Stupid is mental. Talent is physical.
Well, whatever.
From a physical perspective, the East doesn't lack any talent. Not at all. Right. It's mental. But there's as many knuckleheads out west, see the San Antonio Spurs, as there are in the East. So there's the number. And the league, this is the way the league plays now. And my hope is that because now that OKC and New York have done this back-to-back in terms of their style of play, that the rest of the league goes, what are we doing? Why are we playing that way? Because we could play that way. And they could very easily. So it's not that difficult to do. It's a question of egos. Mm. So it's not a question of ability. It's just, and again, you got to have coaches that are willing to do it. I can think of two off the top of my head. One's in OKC and one's in New York. So
Mike Brown,
the guy in Denver, 3, he's willing to do it. So I mean, it's not like it's beyond the realm of possibility. It's not. Those 3 teams.
Didn't the guy in Denver get fired?
He did, but the guy who's there now is coaches like that. It's not the coach.
Who's there now?
I forget his name, but he's done. They're not. They were down on the bottom in terms of 3-point shooting. They were like after 15.
What happened with Denver wasn't a matter of coaching. It was the fact that they let all the depth.
They didn't pay the bench. Yeah. For whatever, they didn't pay the bench. And yeah, they went too thin, and you can't win.
And when you have no depth and then you get injured.
This is why Philly's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
They have no depth.
Top heavy.
If the best guy off your bench is a 6'3" guard who doesn't defend anybody, he can score 15 to 20, but he's not going to guard anybody. You're not going anywhere. And that's who Simmons is. And if he had guys around him, that would be fine, but he doesn't.
Dude, but I'll say this. Are you in the camp that says, if this does work out and Philly's good, would you give Nick Nurse credit or would you say, oh, well, look at all the fucking teams?
I think Philly is going to be good. I don't think Philly's going to win a title.
Right.
They were going to be good before they got LeBron. They're going to win 50 games probably, but they're not going to do anything in the playoffs because at the end of the day, you have to be able to stop people, which they cannot. Their front line is awful defensively. And they don't have the money to go get a guy to help them off the bench.
Yeah.
Andre Drummond wasn't a good defender. The Knicks exposed him. So what they're getting him as a stopgap because they lost Mitchell to Robinson to the Celtics.
Yeah.
So Philly doesn't have a back line. Jaylen Brown can only cover so many people at once. He can only cover one guy by my math. So there's ways around that. That's easy. So, and the 2 guards who are good offensively, but either one of them is a good defender. So they're not gonna, and they have who's the depth? So how does he at 42 years old, and he's gonna have to play the back line, now he's gonna start at the stretch 4? Okay? You think at 42 years old he's gonna last this, and the guy next to him can get hurt at the drop of a hat?
How many games do you think they go?
They're probably going to be somewhere between 45 and 55. I'd give them that.
Damn.
That puts them at 4 in the East. 3 or 4.
They won 54 games.
That means
I think they did pretty good.
I think they can do that. But that doesn't mean they're going to go anywhere.
Sure.
The Atlanta Hawks won 60 games one year and got bounced in the first round.
Sure.
I don't care. Sure. And they were a lot younger than these guys were.
Well, it depends on how they get those 50 wins.
Well, they can they can play bully ball with some teams, and they'll be able to do that. They can physically beat up on some other teams.
But if they show that they're actually building team chemistry, then they got a shot to actually do something.
At the end of the day, you aren't winning a title with 5 guys.
Yeah.
I don't care who they have.
People have to play roles.
They have to play roles. You have to get out. At some point, you're going to need your bench, and they don't have a bench. They don't have the flexibility to go get a bench. And the fact they brought LeBron in, honestly, if Philadelphia was smart, I would trade Edgecombe right now and try and get 2 pieces off your bench. Because he's not right now. He's going to get lost in the shuffle. Anyway.
You think so?
I know so. He's going to get
He
lost.
can't be there. Oh, because he's their 5th man.
He's their 5th guy. You're better off. He's probably their most.
Better off being the 6th man.
He's their most tradable asset. You have to get a bench. You can trade him for 2 pieces.
What if he was the 6th man of the year, though? No. Wouldn't
He won't be 6th man of the year. He won't be. He won't get the ball.
But what if instead of starting him and having him be the 5th man,
And put Simmons in there instead of him?
he's the 6th man, and then he kind of like, I don't know, when you spell one of the other big names.
You need to be able to spell the power forward in the center, and they can't do it. They can't do it. They don't defend well from the guard spot to begin with. So they're going to have a problem there.
Yeah,
Jaylen Brown can only cover up so much.
Yeah.
He can cover one guy. That's it. All right? There's no Jason Tatum out there on the wing who's an equal defender. They don't got a guy like that.
Yeah.
So they don't have a guy like that. They don't have a Derek White, another elite defender at the guard. They don't have these guys.
Yeah.
So how do you? Paul George was a very good. Paul George was arguably their best defender last year,
Is Paul George really 6'9"? That shit's crazy.
and he has long arms.
The way
Like,
he moves, dude.
I'm just saying, he didn't miss
He
games.
moves like he's 6
He didn't miss games because of injury last year. He missed it because he was suspended for a drug thing. So he will play. I laughed,
Was
Joel.
that a Roy thing?
No, it wasn't Roids. It was. I don't think it was. I think it was other drugs.
Interesting.
So I'm just saying that he is more likely to play 60 games than Joel Embiid is.
What is that? Well, they're candy.
Where?
That green bag.
That's the Celtics.
Oh,
That's the Celtics. That's a Kuz.
damn! I must be hungry.
And you must be.
Did you get any licorice?
No, I don't.
Man,
I haven't gotten licorice in a week.
I feel for licorice.
I know. Did you take a bubble gum? Ah, good man. So,
9 o'clock before we'd even texted.
oh, did you really?
Yeah, because I was
Yeah.
like, you know what?
I
He
gotta-
said IDD with question mark, and I said I'm game.
Yeah.
I was like, he's about this. So I was like, at 9 o'clock I'm going to do it because I figured when Casey said the place closed at 9, I was like,
Yeah.
they're not coming home right after.
No, they never do. They didn't.
But
So-
I figured we might start around 10ish.
Yeah,
You know,
which we did.
right as the gum was going.
The gum gums up. So I mean, you know, they being Philly right now. If you want to say they're third in the East based on talent, I would agree with you. They're probably third right now because we don't know if Detroit's going to add. Detroit still has not added a second guy. And my
Did you see
Cleveland,
that Duran is asking is trying to get like a $276 million contract? I mean, my God.
I don't care if he made 13 All NBA. He's not worth that money. The guys,
That's crazy.
the guys making that money are top 5 in the league. He's not top 5. He's not top 10. I don't even know if he's top 15. He made 13 All NBA. I don't even know if he's that. He's good. He's an All Star, but I don't know. I mean, if you're telling me that,
How long has he even done it for?
no, he's young, so he's not in his prime yet.
I
So
guess he had a good year last
he
year.
had a very good year for a young guy,
And
and
this year was a lot of injury, right?
no, he was
I thought he was
third.
injured a lot.
He was third team All NBA
This year.
This year. So
What, he just wasn't good in the playoffs?
he was good in the first round. Like he needs a jump shot. He needs a mid-range jump shot.
Remember when he got yoked on by that Magic?
I'm not giving the Magic talk of the century.
Oh, man.
That was
Bro.
you got boofed on.
Because what's his face? He's a big dude, man.
Yep, but he got ahead of steam.
Oh, man.
See, you know,
Yeah, he was backpedaling. Oof.
you don't jump when the guy's running at you, and
He should have just ran
and you're
off.
backpedaling.
He should have ran off.
You don't.
Yeah.
No, you
Don't
can't
contest
You
it.
can't contest it.
Because either you're going to hurt him
Yeah.
or you're going to
You're gonna get her.
Yeah.
At that point, you're better off just letting it go
Yeah.
because you're not going to get the charge unless you stop outside the key, which he didn't.
No.
And you once you got in the air, no.
Yeah.
But he made a mistake and he paid for it. So
Dude, I remember I wanted to ask you. Okay, so, because I'm a recruiter, so I wanted to use my interviewing skills. And it was like, imagine if you were a GM and you were interviewing LeBron during this process, and you were considering adding him to your team, like, what would be the question you'd ask?
If I was thinking about adding LeBron to my team,
yeah. And you were interviewing him, and he was interested, and you were interested.
It would depend on the team I had and what role.
Okay, let's say you were the Sixers. You're the Sixers GM. LeBron comes to you and says, "Hey, I'm considering your team. You know, are you interested?" What would you have to hear from him to be like, all right, man?
I would say that depends on the role you're willing to play versus the role that we need. If they match up, then we can talk. But the role I need you to play is, I don't know that. First of all, here's the problem. I don't know that he can play the role they need him to play.
Sure, but I'm just saying.
It's not even about would he be willing.
What would you need from him? That's what I mean. Like,
I would need him to do something he's never done in his career, which is average 10 rebounds a game.
Hmm.
He's never done that.
Think he can do that at this age?
Nope. It's not a question of physicality, it's a question of mindset. And you're asking a guy who's 42 years old to... It's not because he physically...
But you think physically he could average 10 rebounds a game easy?
I think he could average 15 if he put his mind in the right place, but he won't. Because that means he's starting the break and he's not finishing it.
Mm.
And that means he's getting the outlet pass, which no one talks about this that doesn't know the game, which is most.
So you're saying he's throwing it to Maxey and letting him go?
He has to be the rebounder and the outlet guy. And this is the thing that no one talks about with Bill Russell. Because the reason that Brett Auerbach invented the fast break offense and his linchpin was Bill Russell. Because Bill Russell would not only block the shot, he'd get the rebound, and he always made the right outlet pass, whether it was Kuzi or Havlicek or Sam Jones, or whoever the fuck it was on the wing. He always got the ball to the right guy to start the fast break. LeBron James doesn't have that mentality. Dennis Rodman had that mentality. Larry Bird had that mentality. Where they would get the rebound as opposed to their first instinct wasn't to dribble it. Their first instinct was, where is the
Turn and load.
Turn and load. And a good fast break, you can always tell because two passes occur before a dribble is even made. And they're either up the sideline or up the middle and out to the sideline, whichever way that the outlet guy goes. The rebounder never puts the ball down. He turns, he pivots away from the pressure, and he looks wherever he is. And he finds that guy while the defense is now turning.
So you want to see two hands over the top?
I want to see LeBron James catch the ball off the backboard, turn and fire it before anybody knows what the fuck is going on. To the right guy.
What's the best way to beat the defense is to beat the defense down.
Before it gets back. And as I do this every year with every team I coach. I say, who's the fastest guy on this team? And this year it was Raylan Reese who asked out his daughter. And I put Raylan on the baseline. This happened, by the way. And I said, Raylan, when I say go, I want you to run as fast as you can all the way to that end line. And he just looked at me like, why? I said, just trust me, do it. So I want all you guys over here, and Anthony was in there and said, watch this. So Anthony has seen this before. He knew what I was doing. I said, are you ready? 1, 2, 3, go. As soon as he took off, I waited till he got to the first foul line. I didn't tell him I was going to do that. And then I just threw it to the coach down the other end of the court. And the ball got down there before he did. And I gave him a 15-foot head start. And I looked at the guys and I said, what did we learn here? And I said, you can't answer. And I pointed to Anthony. And they all looked at him, why can't he answer? Because he knows the answer. I've coached him before. The rest of you, I haven't. What's the lesson learned here? And they all just looked at me. And the coach down there goes, can I answer? I'm like, no, you can't. I want them to answer.
The ball goes fast.
I said, there's nobody on this planet faster than the ball. So what does that mean? Do I want you to dribble up the court, or I want 2 passes up the sideline before the fastest guy? If the fastest guy can't get back, what about the other 4? And that is still true to this day at the NBA level. And Bill Russell is the guy who taught me that. Because he did that drill with me as a kid standing there. He did the same thing with a kid. He's like, who's the fastest kid in the camp? And they pointed to this kid who was like a senior in high school. He put him on the end line, he let him go, and he fucking threw it all the way down the court, okay, to fucking Satch Sanders, who was standing down there. And he turns to us, he was like, what's the lesson learned? He said, literally what I said. And we just all looked at each other like, what the fuck's he talking about?
Did everybody know or nobody?
Nobody knew. He said, there's no one on this planet faster than the ball. You want to know the key to fast break? don't dribble. 2 passes. He said minimum 2 passes before a dribble was taken. If you do it right, that dribble will come in the front court. And at that point, you should have a 2-on-1 or a 3-on-2, depending on how you do this. And if you do that, and that middle guy is, I don't know, Bob fucking Cousy, you're going to get layup after layup after layup, and there's nothing anybody can do about it. And that is still, Magic Johnson literally took, the Showtime offense was the Celtics fast break of the 60s. That's the fucking truth that nobody talks about. Go put a highlight tape of Bob Cousy on and Magic Johnson on in transition and just watch it. You're going to shit your pants when you see how similar the passing was. That was no accident. That's evolution.
That was no accident.
It's evolution. So if LeBron James is willing to do that, you may have something. I would bet
that's what you would need to
my left testicle that question did not get asked.
No, it's interesting for me because
that's the only way he's going to make them a contender.
Because I used to be a LeBron supporter, but now that he's in Philly,
he has destroyed.
I can't do it.
He's gotten 6 coaches.
I can't do it.
He threw Russell Westbrook under the bus. He is no. He is all about LeBron. He's always been about ring chasing. His Rich Paul, that lying sack of shit, lied on ESPN about he's not ring chasing. Shut the fuck up. He's not ring chasing. And ESPN is such a bunch of fraud. Nobody called him on it. Not even Stephen A. Smith, the one guy I thought would call him on it, didn't call him on it. He's not ring chasing. Bull fucking shit.
What's he doing?
What's he doing if he's not ring chasing?
I mean, honestly, at this point in your career, what's wrong with a ring chase? Why can't you admit that?
There would be nothing wrong if you weren't LeBron James, who's been doing this his entire fucking career.
Well, what, you thought he was going to stop now?
I know who he is. This doesn't surprise me. This validates me. This show proves my point. He went, all right, who has the most loaded starting 5? And on paper, it is Philly. But LeBron's mistake was...
Should have thought deeper.
He didn't think deeper about it. He didn't realize, wait a minute. Ball dominant, ball dominant, ball dominant, ball dominant. Ball dominant. One ball.
He looked on the bench and he went, hold up.
Wait, there isn't
ball
a bench.
Dominant.
No, bench dominant. Bench, bum,
bench non-dominant.
scrub, scab.
Bench non-dominant.
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 Stationary bike. There's no bench. Why? He would have been better off going to Detroit. Detroit had a one...
balls.
Yeah, he'd have been better off going to Detroit. They are younger. They are deeper. I mean, Detroit would have been... If he really wanted a ring chase, Detroit would have been the perfect place. That would have... He could have gone in there because he has Durant. He has a guy to help him. They've got big men off the bench to help him. He could go in there and fill the room and had help. He's got no help. Who's backing him up? That's the show, boys and girls.
That's it.
That's it right there. Who's backing up LeBron?
I don't know.
No one knows.
Who the hell's back?
Hey, you know what else? Let's know the Philly GM. See you next week.